Hey, Tiffany,
Yeah, Sarah?
if you could make any crossover happen, what 2 shows would you pick?
I think I'd pick the Wildchats and...
My name is Sara.
My name is Tiffany.
And you're listening to Wildchats
Get Your Hand in the Podcast,
where we talk all things Disney Channel because there are some things that you never grow out of.
You know what I never grew out of?
What?
Being triggered whenever somebody on TV says my name.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see why this is relevant.
Oh, yeah. So we're back with another installment of Wildchats So Hot Summer, where we're doing weekly episodes of shorter topics. Mm-hmm. And these are turning out to be some of our favorites.
Yes.
Today,
we heard your calls and prayers.
Yes. Specifically one person in particular, Thomas. I told him I'd give him a shout out because he's been asking for this topic for a very long time. And we're just waiting for the right moment.
Yes.
And the time has come.
We are doing That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana.
Quite possibly the most ambitious crossover event in history.
Disney Channel has brought us 2 things. The most ambitious crossover of all time and the greatest anime of all time.
Always.
In the house.
Man, I wish they had done a crossover with that one. That would have been wild. With Corey in the house.
God.
That would have been wild.
Crazy.
That would have been too good.
Yeah, I don't think the world was ready for it.
I'm still not.
Oh my God, dang it. I want a reboot of Corey in the House.
A reboot of Corey in the House?
I would love a reboot of Corey in the House. Okay.
I would too, because it's already so silly.
It's so funny.
The sky's the limit.
So this is a crossover between That's So Raven, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Hannah Montana.
And it came out in 2006.
Yes, and it actually came out during Disney Channel's So Hot Summer.
Oh! What a time to be alive.
Yes, and I remember I really had to fight for my spot on the TV every Friday. You know, that's prime time for everybody, and everybody gathers
night of
at
premieres, am I right?
Yes, everybody gathers at my grandma's house. So I was not just fighting like the rest of my family, I was fighting the rest of the extended family, and I was the only one really fighting for anything Disney Channel. So but I got it. It was like an hour and a half vlog because it's 3 episodes.
Yes.
So the way they did this crossover was they did like 1 episode of each, and it was really interesting to see, like, for example, like the Sweet Life characters in the style of a That's So Raven show.
It was so heartwarming to me just thinking of all these different teams working together.
Yes.
Like imagining, Zack and Cody working with the crew of That's So Raven. Imagine all the actors' chairs all together. A fun fact that I learned about this was that this was Disney Channel's 5th crossover and first live action crossover. The other 4 were all the same show.
Oh my God. I was trying to look up what were the other crossovers.
It was all Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch and what?
They did 4 of them within a year's worth of time. They did one with American Dragon.
Oh my gosh.
They did one with Proud Family. I don't know if I remember the Proud Family one. I remember the Kim Possible one, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And then they did one with Recess. First of all, I love Recess, and whenever the time comes for that, I'm so excited. But Lilo and Stitch must have been, they were just like, it's our whatever year of making this show. Let's just have fun, go crazy.
That's actually really cool. I kind of wish I would see more of that. Like, not with Lilo and Stitch, but with Zack and Cody or That's So Raven. I love crossovers. They're so fun.
Yeah, and I feel like the characters fit so well together.
Yes. It felt like all of Disney Channel humor at the time was relatively very similar, just very silly, stupid.
A lot of It's a Laugh productions, but also I'm not so sure about Hannah, but definitely Raven and Zack and Cody. So the first episode of this.
The first episode was That's So Raven, and the episode was called Checking Out. And going back to why I was so triggered whenever I hear my name on TV is because in like the opening scene, Raven's sipping on a cup that says Tiffany, and Miss Donna Cavana comes out and she just calls out Tiffany's name. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was not ready to feel this way.
Yeah. Was Raven like already graduated from high school or something?
I think she was still in high school.
She was just interning.
Yes.
Wow, for Donna Cabana? Girl, I was not doing nothing like that in high school.
I love Donna Cabana. And I love...
She's really funny.
One thing that's great about That's So Raven is because a lot of the adults on the show were very funny.
Yeah.
And they played up the acting just as much as like Raven does.
I think Donna Cabana even has the same amount of crazy. Like I learned in this episode, she is equally as crazy as Raven. It was awesome.
So basically, like Donna, she's releasing this new boys line of clothing, and she's trying to bring out this like fashion photographer that has gone in seclusion called Pistache.
Yes.
The only reason why I remember is because I think of pistachio.
Yes.
Just cut it off at Pistache. And her assistant Tiffany is, I don't know, she's gone. She's sick. Yeah. So Raven gets to take over, and she has to use this thing called the Secretech, which is this like PDA, for those of you who don't know, personal digital assistant. And it's like she has no clue how to use it, but
it's kind of like a sidekick.
Yeah. And she's just trying to like fake it till she makes it. So she's got to like book a hotel in Boston, the Tipton, you may have heard of it, book flights for these two kids in like this tiny village that Pistache wanted for her shoot, and you know, Raven's got to get it all taken care of.
Chaos ensues because she has no idea what she's doing. The B plot of it is that it's so silly. It's that they find out, okay, so that toy, is it called a paddle ball?
I think paddle something.
Yeah, so they're like looking through old stuff, and Victor finds an old paddle ball. It's the thing where you like,
it's like a paddle, but you bounce. It's like ball. It's attached to a string, and like
you know what I'm saying. You just have to keep it going.
It with it.
For some reason, they find out that Chelsea's really, really good at it. Like she can go for hours and hours. Of course, Corey and Eddie want to take advantage of this, so they call the Guinness Book of World Records, and apparently you can get like $1,000
if you break the
record.
And the record was like 17 hours and like 22 minutes or something, or 25 minutes.
Yeah, and so she's doing it, and then they find out that somebody else is trying to break the world record at the same time.
Coincidentally at the same time.
And it was Stanley,
the little nasty.
So it just becomes like a competition between the two.
So she got the money, but then she felt like Stanley, he was playing the long game. He like he took her on this giant guilt trip, and then she ended up giving him all the money. Close out the B plot. Let's get back to the juicy stuff.
When they get to the hotel, Raven and Donna are there. Raven accidentally sends Pistache to Milan instead of Boston, a different Tipton. Doesn't get the two models, Juan and Cavell.
Something.
Yes,
yeah, Cavell.
Cavelt. But interestingly enough, you know, the twins are in the hotel, and she has a vision that a famous actress,
played by Tiffany Thornton,
just like only a couple minutes in the episode. That was crazy.
That was amazing.
The beginnings. She has a vision that she's gonna fall down, and so then she has the twins save her. Now they owe her a favor.
Yes.
So she decides, I'm not gonna tell Donna that I messed this up. I'm gonna dress up as Pistache and have the boys dress up as the two models. And then it's funny because then they start the photo shoot. Raven's dressed up in a disguise as Pistache.
They have this like style reporter who's like filming the whole thing.
Yeah, it's very awkward. Donna Cabana comes out because she found out that Pistache wasn't there either, and she's in a Pistache outfit, and it's kind of like SpongeBob when they're all pretending to be Squidward. And they're like, who's the real Pistache? And then it all gets tied up because then the real one shows up. But anyway, what did you think of this episode?
We had all the quirkiness that comes in a Raven episode, but then the boys were involved. I mean, the boys weren't like exactly the Zack and Cody personalities we're used to seeing on their show, but I feel like, you know, it still was super fun just like seeing them there. And then I think like if I were to give a star dazzle to a person, I know this is very early for it, I'd have to go to Donna Cabana. She was amazing. I forgot how funny she was. Yeah. I think of all 3 episodes, is this too early to say?
That's okay.
This is like, I think this is my favorite one of the 3.
Yeah.
Like they had a very strong start.
Very focused plot. You can kind of follow it really easily.
There wasn't really like a message.
Oh no.
Like a moral of the story kind of thing.
Just to be funny. I was so stressed out watching her use the Secretech.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I hated that in a good way. I was just like, oh my god, just tell her you don't know how to use it. Yes. It always bothers me when Raven like will just not own up to a mess up. She always tries to fix it. But it was funny because then Donna did the same thing.
Oh yeah.
If they had just communicated like at all, they probably could have done a way better job. But either way, I like that Zack and Cody ended up being the models.
Also, I was confused. Maybe I don't remember, but I thought that like Raven's visions, like kind of no matter what she does, she can't avoid them. Like it always happens in a way that she doesn't think.
No, sometimes she avoids them.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the episode leaves off with Raven. She's talking with Mr. Mosby. Also, like her interaction with Mr. Mosby are like so funny.
Yes, I loved it.
Oh, so cute.
And I also love it's just like thinking about how, you know, we built this thing up so much and like these are really important characters to us, but when they meet each other, they like don't care who they are.
Yeah.
I don't know who this girl is. Like, Hannah, you're talking to Raven.
Yeah, like Mr. Mosby himself doesn't know like what an icon Raven is.
Yeah, he does not give her the time of day.
Yeah, loved it. That was my top episode. Oh yeah, but anyways, so it leaves off with Raven talking with Mr. Mosby. She missed her flight.
Yes.
Because she messed up the alarm on her Secretech. Classic Raven. I feel like there's, you know, she didn't have to use the Secretech if she already knew that she got, you know, the Secretech got her in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Just be traditional. Get the wake up call. You're in a full service hotel. Like, you know, just my thoughts.
Raven's kind of dumb, I'm not gonna lie, as a character. Chelsea's extremely dumb. She makes Raven look
smart. Yeah. Oh my god, you're so
no,
right.
They're all dumb. Yeah,
because Raven is dumb, but Chelsea makes oh my god, this is all coming together.
I think Corey's the smartest one.
Yeah, I mean, numbers wise, scheming wise,
business wise.
Yeah,
so funny.
So yeah, the beginning of the Sweet Life episode, you know, Raven missed her flight, but now her flight is canceled.
Yes.
So she's forced to stay there for the weekend.
And this one is actually called That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana.
Oh, so this is like the
main crossover one, because this one all the characters touch it.
Yes.
And they're all staying at the hotel. Just barely for Hannah. But
very barely. Raven meets Maddie.
They become friends
because Maddie's very like desperate for friends, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, Raven spent all her money. But then they see London come up, and now Raven's all like starstruck. She's like, oh my god, it's London Tipton. It would be so amazing if she ever wore one of my designs.
Yeah,
because she's like photographed all the time. Also, I thought it was funny because Raven asked for like long lasting gum because she can't afford dinner or like something. And then like and also me, I always have sleep for dinner.
Same.
But then to pay her back, she gave her like a souvenir keychain. Like she has like this bag full of like hundreds of keychains. Like that is the most 2000s thing ever. So like whenever you go somewhere, to just get a bunch of souvenir keychains.
So yeah, Maddie tries to get London to wear one of Raven's designs. And so we have this whole part where she's trying to convince her in London's closet. Guys, You know what I realized watching this? Why is Hannah's closet the iconic one? London's is like a city.
Yeah, there's
It's so
Hat
much
World,
Sandalland.
Sandaland. It's because we didn't get to see.
Oh yeah, we only saw
London's
one
closet.
part of it. It was just imaginary. London didn't have like the automated. Like,
the shelves coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she had a talking mirror.
That's true. The mirror
That was
really
Alexa
sassy.
before. The mirror is smarter than Alexa.
That's true. I liked how the mirror only told London that she was like fabulous, and then only told Maddie that she was bad.
It's so funny.
And then I also forgot. Okay, because we haven't done a Sweet Life episode yet, so like I haven't really watched it for the show or anything. But I forgot that they were actually like friends.
Oh yeah.
Were they like enemies at any point? Because I know they got into some fights, but I wasn't expecting Maddie to like be so down to hang out with London. I was just so surprised. I forgot they were like legitimately.
Yeah, I think they were
with each
friends
other.
the whole time. In the beginning, I know they were like London was like, oh, like she's like a prissy like heiress or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like I think that one episode where like London had to become poor and like sleep over at Maddie's house, like then they started becoming like actual friends.
Character development. Excuse me.
Oh,
That's awesome.
so London won't wear anything that's not designer. So now Maddie has to sneak into her closet with Esteban and switch out the labels of her. I always forget the name of the designer. It's like Arturo
Vitali.
Arturo Vitali. That's such a good designer name.
I know.
Switch it out with Raven's dress. So London will think that it was designed by Arturo Vitali. And it works.
Yeah, and that's such an accurate just like thing in general.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter what they design or like what it looks like as long as it's the label. Yeah. I thought it was really funny how Maddie and Esteban had to like hide in her closet because like London was like, she was supposed to be in Paris shopping, but then like she ended up not going. And there's this one scene in particular that like it makes me laugh every time. Is when Maddie like jumps on the chair and then like puts her blanket over her. She like throws the blanket and it completely misses her. I don't know why, but that scene is like it even feels like it was a mistake. Like she went to just throw it over her, but then like it completely missed her and then she covered herself again. Oh, so funny.
Another part that actually I laughed so hard out loud, guys. Okay, so let's get into the other plot. The twins and everybody at the hotel are planning a surprise party for their mom, Carrie.
Yes.
They won't say how old she's turning, but it's apparently really old. And I forgot that like Zack and Cody had these really funny one-liners just because they're like so like disrespectful and like not caring about authority. So they just keep telling their mom like, how old is she turning? Old or whatever. And then my favorite part was they're in their hotel room and they're talking to their mom and they're like, just they keep pushing the old thing. And she's like, a lot of people tell me that I'm actually really young, and they're like, yeah, really old people. I laughed so hard.
That's so funny. Oh, they're so funny.
They ran out of money for their mom's present or something, so they write a rap for her, and it's kind of like My Humps or whatever, like dun, 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 your body might be sagging, dun, 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 dun. It's like so funny.
Happy birthday, Mom.
I love them.
Very cute. Okay, so actually in the beginning of this episode, Raven had a vision that somebody wearing a sweater vest, which is Cody's iconic thing, something bad's gonna happen to him, so he should avoid
sneezes.
Basically, if there's a sneeze or bells, run.
Yeah. Run. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my god. So now Cody is like super paranoid because Zack never wears sweater vests, so obviously like she saw him. And so
he doesn't know that about the visions. He's just like thinks like he starts getting paranoid. Like, do you know if like premonitions are a real thing? Like, I don't know. She keeps like saying stuff like that.
Yeah, and they both imitate Raven's vision face.
Amazing. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, because also a lot of times like in the show, in Raven's show, nobody besides like the people who knows who she's psychic like really like draws attention to that face that she makes. Yeah. But then like Zack and Cody immediately like make fun of her for it.
Their faces were really good too. I feel like one of them was like almost laughing as he was doing it. He was like, he was almost breaking. It's so funny.
So then it comes to the point where he like doesn't even want, he just wants to stay in his room where he's safe. He doesn't even want to perform for his mom's like birthday anymore. So Zach's like, you know what, if you're like that afraid, like give me your sweater vest, like I'll show you, like it's nothing. Also for Carrie's birthday, Arwen, her little crush, I mean not her crush, his admirer, he's always coming up with some wacky inventions. So he invents this like robot babysitter, and
it does not go very well, let's just say that. So it starts malfunctioning. There's chaos everywhere. Everybody's running away from the robot babysitter. And Zack ends up being the one in the vision where it's like the robot's chasing him. And then he
falls into the cake.
Oh, yeah.
Breaks the table. And then the babysitter's unplugged. So no like real danger happened to him, which is good. And
then Cody was like, yeah, well, you're right. I did have nothing to be worried about. That was fine. Zack was all mad. Oh, I want to mention one of my favorite lines in it was at the party, Cody asked Arwen like, hey, do you know if like premonitions are like a real thing? Because he's asking everybody. And Arwen's like, nah, I don't think so. I went to a psychic once and she told me I was gonna be like bald, lonely, and forever be chasing a girl who doesn't love me back. And then he's like, so I don't think it was a real thing. Cody was like, yeah, no, definitely not. I love that.
So at the end, going back to the whole London, Maddie, Raven dress thing, London is wearing Raven's dress. She's being photographed. And the interview was like, London, who are you wearing? And then Raven, being her Raven self, was like, me. She is wearing a Raven Baxter original. And London's like, what? No, it's an Arturo Vitale dress. So the truth comes out. She was like,
they're both mad. London and Raven are
mad at Maddie until Hannah Montana walks into the Tipton.
Crossover.
Crossover senses are tingling. And she's like, oh, hey, London. Like apparently she had performed at her birthday party and she was like, I thought it was funny. She's like, you still haven't paid me for that.
Yeah.
Because like it's funny because like she's so rich, but then like why is she like not paying people? I don't know. Hannah ends up loving her dress. So now London feels like validated and that's what makes it okay.
Yeah.
That was a very quick resolution.
And then Hannah wants like another one of it. And London's like, no, this one is a Raven, just for
one
me.
of a kind.
And then they fight over it.
That was the very brief moment of the crossover. Oh, wait, no. Zack and Cody were there too. And then Zack had the cake on his shirt. Hannah licked it. It was like, is that vanilla or something? I forgot.
Yeah. She said, and you're wearing cake. They're like, you're Hannah Montana and you're wearing cake.
This reminds me of like my dad one time, like a bird pooped on my shoulder. I have no idea if I told the story on this podcast already. A bird pooped on my shoulder. He thought I was also eating ice cream at the time. He thought it was ice cream, so he like took a little scoop and then he licked it, and it was bird poop.
That is.
But yeah, guys, don't just eat things off people's shirts. You don't know where it's been or what it is. Okay, PSA.
Oh my gosh, that is my worst nightmare. I would have thrown up just watching it. How long ago was that?
Oh, I was very little.
I knew you would remember it for a very long time.
Yes. I'll never forget it.
It's so funny. What did he say? When he tasted it, was he like, bleh!
Yeah, but he wasn't like dramatic about it. He just laughed about it.
I would have thrown up. I would have like jumped off a bridge.
I remember that day so well because it was like so traumatizing in so many ways.
Yeah, I bet. Because you got pooped on.
I got pooped on. I got lost.
Amazing. I loved those 2 episodes. Then we get to the Hannah Montana one. It's called On the Road Again.
I want my mullet back.
God. Yeah. Only Maddie is in it.
Yes, only Maddie is in it.
Barely counts as a crossover. More like just like a guest star.
Yeah, we got cheated out of that.
Yeah, I think it was like they already had a plot for an episode. Like they didn't even write a new one.
I feel like, yeah, they could have easily like made the same things happen just in the Tipton.
Yeah, or just something different because it didn't really go with the theme.
Yeah, not at all. It was more, and also it was about her dad, which is like, it wasn't about like her shenanigans. It was shenanigans. It was about like her dad. You know, long story short, basically Maddie recognized they start off at the Tipton and like they're leaving, and Maddie comes. Also, I was really confused because Maddie and Hannah were like friends.
Yeah, I think just from meeting that one time.
Yeah, I don't know. Hannah was really nice to be like, oh no, she's cool, she's my friend. That's like so cool.
I thought Hannah was rude because she was like, okay, yeah, whatever, just help me close my suitcase or whatever. I was like,
oh yeah, but then also she could have just said like, get lost, because like she's really just like,
okay,
yeah,
I'll give you that.
Robbie Ray's singing, I want my bullet back. My bullet, ooh, yikes. I want my bullet back.
I'll put a clip right here.
I want my bullet back.
And she's like, oh my god, my mom like loves him, he should do like a get back on tour, that kind of stuff. And that kind of gives Miley an idea to like get his old like manager and like kind of like get him back on the road. Miley was saying how, you know, he gave up his dream so that I could pursue mine. Why can't I do the same for him?
Yeah, so it's just a whole guilt trip of an episode. And then she basically like forces him to go back into the music business, and he didn't even care about it in the first place.
Yeah, he didn't care about it in the first place. Like, it was fun, but like, he loves being a dad. Like, that's his dream, to have you guys the kids.
Yeah, so
all you Wildchats out there.
So then they realize that they do want their dad around. They don't want him on tour. And then he decides like, okay, like, we'll just go back to the way things were, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is always my least favorite part of the crossover.
Yeah, it can't even be considered the crossover, because like, at least That's So Raven and Sweet Life, they had their plot points were very essential to each other. Mm-hmm. Like, the boys were necessary for Raven's, like, you know, getting away with not flying out the boys, and then the boys and then for them, like, Raven's vision was the one behind, but then also she had that other plot line about her dress.
Yeah,
so she was very integrated, and I mean, they were integrated into each other's plot lines. But then Maddie's involvement, I guess it's like, oh, she was the one who like recognized Robbie.
Yeah, but also could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody. Yeah.
Maybe it was like a scheduling thing. You know, they really needed to get this story out or whatever. They were already working on an episode. I don't know, but
yeah, that was really.
It also just seemed like a vehicle for that song. I don't know if they were releasing it. Oh, yeah. They sing it so many times. They even sang it at the end for fun.
Oh yeah, and they're all wearing little mullet wigs. Yeah, it was disappointing to say the least.
It's whatever. Maybe Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana was better. I don't remember.
I feel like, what's it called, Sweet Life on Deck with Hannah Montana, I feel like Hannah Montana also was less integrated into the story. It's always the Hannah Montana show. I don't get it. But
maybe she's just like, Hannah thinks that she's like, you know, too good for it.
Too good. Yeah.
Because I'm too good.
Oh my God. That song is so bad.
I know.
I think it's like pretty common in like meme culture to call that the most ambitious crossover, but you know, it's called ambitious for a reason. Mm-hmm. They didn't commit fully. I'd like to see a reboot of this.
Yes.
Of this collaboration.
Let's see what you guys said about it. So we went on our Instagram and we asked, you guys have any thoughts, comments, questions about this topic? I'll give the first one to Thomas since he emailed us. He says, I love this crossover, probably more than Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana. The first part, That's So Raven, is so funny and such a good start. I love Raven. The second part, Sweet Life, was okay, but it didn't stand up to part one. He agrees with you.
Yes.
The third part, Hannah Montana, was a letdown as fans were duped into thinking it was going to be a 3-episode crossover, but it was really a 2-episode crossover with Maddie making a very good word. A cameo. Yes, at the end and the beginning. But he loves Roxy. I agree very, very much so. Hannah we got played.
Yeah. I mean, simply put, we're played like a fiddle.
Do you think this is the best crossover special from Spamnate?
I feel That's So Raven and Sweet Life alone could be. I think the Hannah Montana really brings it down in terms of the grade I'd give it. Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana was also, from what I remember, pretty good. But
I don't remember it at all.
but it was, again, from what I remember, mostly like wizards on deck and then featuring Hannah Montana. But at least Hannah Montana was on the boat. Like, she didn't go back home.
Oh, okay.
They did a little better there. I remember there was a crossover with Shake It Up and Good Luck Charlie. I think that was pretty good. I will give them that. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, Shake It Up characters in a different situation. So, guys, thank you for sending us your thoughts.
Maybe we'll do other episodes on the other crossovers.
Yes.
For upcoming So Hot Summers. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Instagram at Wildchats Podcast, on Twitter at Wildchats PCast. Check out our website, wildchatspodcast.com. That's where you can find everywhere. You can find our bios. You can find where to listen to us, all the platforms, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We really like reading those. We'll give you a shout out on Instagram, and it really just helps us out.
So you just listened to Wild Chats. Get your head in the podcast, part of Wild Chats So Hot Summer, and we will see you next week.